I invented Quick Sip, and I do have a patent. It was one of those need-based things. I got home, I looked at the crib, and I thought, how do I change that sheet? I created a sheet that you can zip on and off. Shortly, a few years later, people were saying, well, my RV bed, I can't change. I've got a bunk bed. I had to climb up there and change it. I need one for my parents. I need one for my own bed. So now we are selling sheets in every size up through California king size to address all those fitted sheet haters in the United States. We were in California for the finals of the Capital Championship earlier this year, and we had made it to the last 3 companies out of more than 500 entrants to vying for a prize of $250,000 and 6 months of mentoring from OtterBox. So for most people, that probably would have been good validation, would have built up your confidence. But here I was, I'm thinking, okay, we're practicing over and over for the final round, and I'm still thinking, I'm not ready. I'm not quite there. I don't know. So I took myself outside and I walked around the block. Must have been 10 times. I stood up straight. I talked out loud to myself in a loud and confident voice. I was doing the moving power pose, and I started to be able to sort of clear my mind of some of the baggage that creeps in sometimes, the comparisons that you've heard a little about tonight. Younger, techier, hipper, people who've raised more money, people who have made more money, people who are growing faster. One thing that you're hearing a few times tonight is about knowing yourself. I have benefited from a lot of coaching, some great coaching over the last year and a half. Now, this is after a whole lifetime of buying my kids every tutor and coach they ever needed or didn't need, but never thinking that maybe I could benefit from a little self-awareness and improvement. So knowing yourself helps you figure out your strengths, honor those strengths, and put them to use. I know now that I'm better social, conceptual, and analytical, and I don't like details, despite the fact that for years that's all I've been doing. So I can let it go and let somebody else who loves details deal with it. Secondly, show yourself. I think we all fight kind of the slivers of perfectionism that keep kind of stabbing in at the wrong moment. There are tons of generous and really smart people around here. You're surrounded by them. Take advantage of them. Every time you go out and talk to people, you increase your own confidence, you get better at it. And the other thing, reaching out, I did connect with my business partner, Caroline Portis, and together we changed the company from a side job for me while I had another full-time job to something that we have full-time. We've got employees, we've raised money, we're growing our business, our sales are doubling, and we have huge potential. So thirdly, seeing yourself. On that walk around the block in LA, I had to start to see myself winning that competition that night. I was forced out of the doing for a minute and forced myself to see where we were and where we could be. And I think the minute that you get to see yourself at that next spot, you start making decisions from that perspective. So instead of always thinking, well, I'm not sure if we can get there, we're just going to say we are there, and we're going to spend the money that we know is associated with that level of revenue, and we're going to do it. And by the way, that visioning works. We won that competition that night, and we beat those younger, techier people. And lastly, a little bit of humor gets you through many days. Fitted sheets may not be everyone's highest intent for their conversation, but a picture of a mom climbing up on top of a bunk bed trying to change the sheet, or somebody fighting with a sheet to fold it neatly into their closet gets people talking. And we're using a tagline these days called "Get Your Sheet Together." And that gets us, that is what people remember. We are still on the journey. I think I'm traveling lighter. Carry-ons cost a lot of money these days, so we got to get rid of them too. The road is long and winding, and I think I see it often as a continuous looping road, hopefully going up the hill some days. And I will tell you that the first visioning exercise we did, again at Merge Lane, we were talking about what do you want to feel like in a few years. And I remember saying, I want to feel like the wind is at my back. Well, right now, I'm not sure if that's a realistic approach, but I will tell you, to quote an Irish proverb, that I think the road is rising up to meet us, and I hope it will for you too.